Everyone mentioned today is innocent until proven guilty in a court of law, and everything I discuss here is theory until proven fact, even if it is.
Never break, always fight, never quit, do it right, play the game, win it life, have no shame, there's no time, feel the pain, live the grind, I could change, in my mind, pick a lane, commit and climb, the only way to win it life, I never miss, that's fact, taking big swings, bitch, hand me the bat, put me in the ring, you'll go out in a bag, cause I sing what I mean, and I bring it to the mad light, ain't got time to kill, I got time to feel, I took the red pill, I know life's short, so I wanna live real, but how's it supposed to feel? How's it supposed to feel? How's it supposed to feel? They wanna say my name, but they hold it back. They wanna say they hate, but they know it's cap. I ain't play no games, I just do that's fact. And I don't feel no shame, it's a mood you lack. I go crazy, nah bitch I ain't lazy. Track after track, I work on this shit daily. Passing the jack, right as fuel, got me hazy. About to unpack all this shit I've been chasing. I've got visions in my head, like memories after death. To be a legend instead of something you can forget. I'm living up every breath, I'd rather lead than be led. I'll fill the seeds as I spread with every word that I've said. How's it supposed to feel? How's it supposed to feel?
Hey guys, how you going? Okay, let's say hello to everyone. Out to lunch was number one. Deb's in here. I'm in here, obviously. Shannon, how you going, guys? Who else have we got in here? Out to lunch, suggesting movies for watch with me at Rumble after this. We got Alex, how you going? Good to see you, Alex, as always. And we got Rails. How you going, Rails? Good to see you. Shannon, good to see ya. Brandon, good to see ya. Let's go, Brandon. Let's go. Lightworker, how you going? I can't pronounce the first bit still, so. Okay, good to see you guys. Okay, we'll get into some news when I get to my bookmarks. And we'll go to a watch with me afterwards. Onto Rumble. Okay. There's also, if you would like to donate, there is a pinned comment at the top, just if you would like to, if you think I'm worth it. Okay, Massimo said, this is not really news, but it's very interesting because it's culture. Massimo said, love how he gives respect right back to those who offer it. These are the guards I believe they're at the palace or near the palace. The English guardsmen, right? Let's just have a look. If you don't respect them, and including the horses too, they will push you out of the way. The horses will headbutt you or bite you. But if you show respect, they are very respectful back. Have a look at this.
Spirit,
You got too close, okay? I can't play the music, obviously. Too close, mate. It's just as simple as that. Don't stand too close to them. Respect the boundaries. Same as, look, yep, doesn't matter. Don't stand too close to them. Have some respect. And you've got this man who does, he watches where he's standing and the guy moves closer to him, see? Respect. Culture. That's the English culture. And you need to respect it. Otherwise, you won't get respected back. These two people, watch this. He moves over to them because they are being respectful. This is part of our culture that people say we don't have a culture, right? White people don't have a culture. Really? Look. That one was the cutest of all. He did the shuffle over there. God love him. Anyway, we do have culture, you know. England, Ireland, Scotland, Wales, all of Europe has a culture. Katie shared this with me, and this is from Reese Bros. Happy Australia Month. This is another. Some of them are really feel good, right? Okay, that's why I included them, because we all see what's going on in Minnesota and that at the moment. I'll get to that in a minute.
I think this cyclone's about to hit any minute. Lucky it's only a category 2. Not wrong. You going down? Fucking oath, cunt. Bravo! How the bloody hell are you, mate? Hey, bloody brilliant, Johnny! Fucking bit wet, isn't you, mate? Yeah, it could be worse, mate. You're not bloody wrong, mate. On you, mate. Hey, watch this. Go on, then.
Oh, the music's going to get me. By the way, this is during a cyclone, okay? Which I think you'd call a hurricane over in America.
Oi! Kill! Fuck! There he is! You want another can, mate? Yeah, fucking hurry! Oh, no! Hey, you still want a can? Well, it's all...
Yep.
Oh, you ran! I think this cyclone's about to hit any minute.
And that's what we call a legend. Sorry, that was so funny. I'm laughing my head off. Okay. GPA, Indiana GPA said where Trump is the GOAT. Let's have a look. I don't know what this is about, but we're going to find out together.
See, this is why this motherfucker's the GOAT right here. Watch, check this out. You ready? They're talking about farmers.
Dairy farmers. I want to thank all of our farmers here today, sir. Most of them are 5th and 6th generation. They represent states from all across our country and bringing the children to and seeing what the next generation of dairy farmers looks like. The amazing thing is some of these farmers back here from Butler, Pennsylvania, he
Where?
Butler, Pennsylvania.
Man got shot there, and he joking about it. That's why he's the GOAT.
There you go. Just something interesting. But he's bringing back whole milk and everything, so way to go, Trump. Elon Musk said they all knew. C3 said Minnesota fraud. Tim Walsh was in on it. Jacob Frey was in on it. Tina Smith was in on it. Ilhan Omar was in on it. Tiki Brown was in on it. Keith Ellison was in on it. Amy Klobuchar was in on it. Peggy Flanagan was in on it. Nancy Dobbenberger was in on it. Every last one of them. And Elon has said they all knew. Interesting. Apparently California's getting looked at now. How you going, D-Lee? Good to see ya. Yeah, apparently California's getting investigated now. Colin Ruggs said new. Man jumps out of his car and saves 2 toddlers from getting hit after they walked. Where did I go this morning? Seriously, I was searching for stuff. But anyway, we've got a lot of feel-good stuff. New man jumps out of his car and saves 2 toddlers from getting hit after they walked in the middle of a busy road in Brevard County, Florida. The toddlers had snuck out of a backyard and the parents didn't even realise they were gone. Oh, dear God, no. John Brittingham, father of 5 and grandfather, said his life would have been ruined if something happened to them. I was terrified. If anything would have happened to them, my whole life would have been ruined, he said. He's a hero. Let's have a look at what he did.
Heart-stopping moments on what can be a busy road in Brevard County, Florida. Watch this man spot the two toddlers and run into action, stopping traffic with one arm, scooping up the kids with the other. No one was hurt. Need to say that right away. John Brittingham is the hero. He then went looking for the parents, finding an open backyard gate and a stunned family who did not even know their toddlers were missing yet. Brittingham told ABC News he saw the girls while driving southbound on A1A. You know, that's that road that runs all along the beach, so it can get really busy. Pulled over and ran to their rescue.
I was terrified. If anything would have happened to him, my rest of my life would have been ruined. So I immediately pulled over there, and I ran out of the car, and one of them was already to the middle of the road, and I grabbed that one first, and then the second one I just picked up. She was ready, and I got him off the road. Took like maybe 6.
Okay. If that ever happened to me, which it wouldn't, because I'd put a lock on the gate so the kids couldn't get out. In fact, I used to. Oh, here's another one. We're just going to have a laugh today, it looks like, okay? There is news in here, but we're going to have a bit of a laugh. I can't even pronounce this. Oh, I don't know. Can't stop laughing anyway, okay? Shout out to this person, whoever, whatever their name is, that I can't pronounce. Okay, let's have a look. Okay, she's trying to get the goats in.
Oh. I'm really struggling this morning.
Oh, God. She's trying really hard to get them all in. No, they're trying to preempt her now.
You gotta be faster, Sharon! Run, Sharon!
She finally did it. Oh, that was funny. Sorry. Just put a lot of funny stuff in here for some reason. And I agree, like, Alex, how did the parents not know they were gone? As soon as your kids are quiet, you go looking for them, okay, because they're up to something. The minute you can't hear those kids anymore, you're like, where are they? And you can just go and check on them. If they're sitting there colouring in or whatever, fine. You know, sitting there playing quietly, that's fine. But you just go and check on them if they're being very quiet. Okay, Bro, he's obviously Australian. He said, we're all going to jail, aren't we? Yeah, I'll see you there, mate. Yeah, our government are trying to slam through these censorship laws. And it's funny because it's after the Bondi shooting, okay? And you know what? You're not allowed to criticise Islamic people, but you know, if you're a Christian, you pray in the streets, you might get locked up. But if you're Muslim and you pray in the streets, you are not allowed, well, Australians are not allowed to say anything about that. Another feel-good one, Rosita Diaz said, oh, well, sort of feel-good, no, in a disaster. Rosita Diaz said a koala curled up on a camper's chest in the middle of the night. It happened at Diamond Head Campground, Crowdy Bay National Park, New South Wales, where deforestation nearby has pushed koalas into campsites. A man documenting his trip caught it all on camera. The koala climbed onto his sleeping bag and stayed there till sunrise. Rangers later said displaced koalas sometimes seek warmth from people when their trees are gone. What are we allowing governments to get away with? Well, they're knocking all the trees down to build solar and wind farms. And this is what happens. Okay, they say they are, you know, especially the Greens, they say, oh, we're all for animals. Yeah, really? You want to knock all their habitat down and build solar and wind farms? Yeah, somehow it's not going to work. Elon Musk, and this is what I think is going to happen, time to invoke the Insurrection Act, and it could be as soon as this week. Maybe even over the weekend, who knows, because Minnesota's being attacked by the left so badly. Insurrection Barbie said some fun facts. The Insurrection Act has been invoked 30 times by 17 different presidents. Why do I feel like I got deja vu that I read this last week? In fact, 30% of American presidents have invoked the Insurrection Act. It was invoked to deal with rebellions and uprisings. What are rebellions and uprisings? Example, armed groups openly defying federal law. State or local authorities could not or would not enforce federal law. Violence or organised resistance threatened the authority of the federal government, and courts were blocked, taxes couldn't be collected, or officials were attacked. Look, I just described Minnesota. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and Elon Musk is saying time to invoke. It's coming. Just whether sooner or later, who knows? McAmey has said Americans seize a turkey on the beach of Australia. Say what? Remember, and I had a turkey for a while. A brush turkey, they're called in Australia.
A few things I noticed
Oh,
as an American
that's
going
loud.
to Australia for the first time. Instead of having exit signs, they have way out signs, which I kind of like because it reminds me of saying far out. Their bills are absolutely beautiful. They're colorful, clear, and waterproof. They got a little kangaroo on the dollar coin. I could not go anywhere without seeing this damn bird. And these guys are like really big, and for some reason, nobody cares when they're like in your establishment. See yourself out.
Yeah, they just hang around.
This obviously happens more than just Australia, but driving on the right-hand side, God, it gets me every time. Don't even get me started on how early these mofos be working out. Now, I'm all for an active lifestyle, but dude, like, it was like the whole city had woken up at 5 o'clock in the morning and either decided...
Can I just say we drive on the left side of the road? In America, you're the ones who drive on the right side of the road. Okay, anyway, other than that...
to run, swim, surf, bike, whatever. We always hear about the koalas and the kangaroos in Australia, but what about the turkeys? I saw these guys everywhere too. Like at home, we're worried about like a little seagull eating our sandwich. Meanwhile, here, it's like a massive 6-pound turkey just trying to get a bite. A few things I noticed as an American going to Australia for the first...
So, yeah, remember when I had the people who followed me to my other channels will remember that I had a brush turkey in my yard when I had chickens. Yes, he liked the chickens. The hens. In fact, he tried to peck them to death. God knows. I think he was trying to mate with them. But there you go. Gunther Eagleman said, holy crap, Christy Nome just revealed what she said to Tim Walz during her last phone call with him, and no wonder the man looks petrified everywhere he goes. I said, sir, listen, Tim, you know the situation, what's going on. We're enforcing federal law. Should I let her say it? No. If you don't like the laws, go change them, but don't do it by giving place to these protesters and rioters that are perpetuating violence. And I said, you have my personal cell phone. You call me if you need me, call me. We'll be there to help back you up or protect your city, protect your state. He paused for a few seconds and he just said, yeah, okay, we have very different viewpoints of what's going on. I said, maybe we do, but we will be here if you need us because that's our goal every day is to keep people safe. Tim knows that the American people see right through the charade he's putting on. And that's Fox News, obviously. But anyway, AKA said a young Somali woman was filmed screaming for help as ICE detained her in downtown Wilmar, Minnesota. She reportedly turned down the $3,000 and a free plane ticket, and now she's getting a front row government escort instead. Let's have a look. Want to make it big? Whoa, okay.
Hey, chill the fuck out, bitch. Chill the fuck out. You ain't gonna do nothing. Chill the fuck out. Don't.
Deport the freaking lot of them. Hey, you know the people yelling from behind the camera? Can we deport them with these people, even if they're white liberals? They don't sound like white liberals. They sound... Look at them. I wouldn't have the patience these ICE agents do. Oh, take your language and go home, love. Okay, I think we've seen enough. The loudmouth behind the camera is just insane. Okay, Rosita Diaz said Albanese's gun grab backfires. Tasmania revolts against the PM's plan. Prime Minister Anthony Albanese just got a rude awakening. Tasmanian Police Minister Felix Ellis has brutally shut down the federal government's new firearm buyback scheme, refusing to sign off on what he calls a multi-million-dollar mistake. Yes, exactly. Hey, J1, I'm Kai. How you going? And if I missed anyone, I'll catch you in a minute. Ellis didn't hold back, exposing the shocking truth about the Bondi tragedy. It was an intelligence failure, not a gun law problem. Yeah, because Anthony Albanese apparently defunded ASIO. I don't know, but that's what I've heard. While Labor tries to punish farmers and law-abiding shooters, Tasmania is standing its ground. Is this the beginning of the end for Albo's reforms? Yes, it won't happen, let me tell you. Not going to happen. You will not get it through. Plus, you're an illegitimate Prime Minister as far as I'm concerned. American AF said man drowns out the Muslim call to prayer with bagpipes. I absolutely love this. Go Scotland. Listen to this. Okay, can we get people playing AC/DC in Australia every time you hear the call to prayer? That was lovely, though. That was absolutely lovely hearing that. Okay, MJ Truth Ultra said hero, newly released 911 call of a man who relentlessly pursued a pedo, leading to the discovery of an 11-year-old missing in Flagler County, Florida, boy who was kidnapped, choked unconscious, and hogtied. A citizen spotted registered sex offender Darnell Hairston, 60, driving a truck with two boys, including a reported missing 11-year-old from St Johns County. The caller immediately dialed 911, identified Hairston as a neighbourhood child pedo, followed the vehicle and provided real-time updates despite dispatch advising against it. Deputies stopped Hairston's white Ford F-150 on US Highway 1. The 11-year-old was traumatised and confirmed he had been kidnapped. Hairston resisted arrest, attempted to grab a deputy's gun. A 15-year-old passenger fled in the truck, leading a high-speed chase ending in a crash. The boy alleged Hairston lured him with the teen's help via Snapchat, choked him unconscious, hogtied him, used duct tape, threatened him with knife and firearm, and held him for 3 days at a campsite. The 15-year-old faces fleeing, eluding, battery on an officer and possible co-conspiracy charges. Turned over to juvenile justice. Thank you, God, for saving this child. Jeez. Okay.
Turn around, put your hands behind your back. This traffic stop of Darnell Hairston, a registered sex offender who deputies allege had a 15-year-old and a missing 11-year-old in his truck, ended with Hairston facing charges, as well as the 15-year-old who's accused of taking off in the truck, ramming a cruiser, and crashing.
Vehicle's upside down on the wood line.
These arrests might not have happened, and that missing child might not have been found if it weren't for this 911 call.
591, where's the location of your emergency?
Yes, ma'am. There's a child pedophile with two kids in his truck. One's a runaway.
Where are you at, sir?
He's coming down US 1. His name's Darnell.
A caller who knew Hairston and knew he is a registered sex offender just happened to see him on the road. He dialed 911 after spotting him with what looked like two underage boys in the car.
How do you know this person?
He's our neighborhood child pedophile, and there's two missing kids that run away from out there, and he's got two teenage boys in the back of his truck.
The caller followed the truck down US 1.
You don't have to continue following.
Oh, no, I'm following until I see a cop pull his over because he's got two kids in his car. Because if a cop don't pull him over, I'm going to pull him over, and it ain't going to be pretty.
Deputies ultimately found the truck and after a bit of a struggle had Hairston in handcuffs.
Who's got my truck? Who's got my truck?
All right, I appreciate it. Law enforcement stopped the vehicle.
Yeah, they got him. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
There you go. Caught a pedo, someone who knew who he was and saw kids in the car, and thank God decided to keep going and follow him. Nick Amias said, when the Australian Prime Minister opens his mouth, you know he's lying. Yeah, his lips moving. He claims children under 16 can't access social media anymore. Many parents, even myself, can confirm this is a lie, and I can confirm it's a lie too. Didn't even need to use VPNs. No, we didn't. So that's how I think his censorship bill's going to go too. DC Drono said, you can't help but notice the Minneapolis riots against ICE only started kicking up once Nick Shirley exposed the Democrat daycare scams. Yeah, the Leering Centres. Money laundering has been renamed to Somali Leering Centres, okay? Because they couldn't even put an N in there, learning centres. So they, Leering Centres. Homeland Security said we caught one of the individuals that was part of destroying FBI vehicles. He will now be prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law. His life has been changed forever due to his foolishness. Don't be like him. Okay? Nick Sortor said breaking Minneapolis riders successfully broke open a weapons locker in a federal vehicle and stole a rifle and ammunition before fleeing. I captured the thief's face and license plate on the getaway vehicle. Please share and help identify. Well, he has been. Okay, and there was a funny comment in here under this. Crazy to think a guy with those face tattoos would make some bad life choices. Oh, dear. Okay. Tommy Robinson said invader kicks a Portuguese woman's head like a football. Mass deportations 2026. Oh, no. Don't do. You bastard. Well. Whoops. I'm saying whoops because I don't think, I think it's probably a no. Oh, I don't want to say it again. No, thank you. Yeah, let's deport them all, please. Benny Johnson said, want to see our career ended on live TV. A fake news reporter just called the ICE agent who defended himself against left-wing attacker Renee Good a murderer. Press Secretary Carolyn Levitt absolutely demolished him in less than 60 seconds. Let's have a listen.
Why was Renee Good unfortunately and tragically killed?
Are you asking me my opinion? Because an ICE agent acted recklessly and killed it unjustifiably.
Oh, okay. So you're a biased reporter with a left-wing opinion.
What do you want me to do?
Yeah, because you're a left-wing hack.
He sounds Irish or Scottish.
You're not a reporter. You're posing in this room as a journalist, and it's so clear by the premise of your question. And you and the people in the media who have such biases but fake like you're a journalist, you shouldn't even be sitting in that seat. But you're pretending like you're a journalist, but you're a left-wing activist. And the question that you just raised and your answer proves your bias. You should be reporting on the facts. You should be reporting on the cases. Do you have the numbers of how many American citizens were killed at the hands of illegal aliens who ICE is trying to remove from this country? I bet you don't. I bet you didn't even read up on those stories. I bet you never even read about Laken Riley or Jocelyn Nungray or all of the innocent Americans who were killed at the hands of illegal aliens in this country. And the brave men and women of ICE are doing everything in their power to remove those heinous individuals and make our communities safer. And shame on people like you in the media who have a crooked view and have a biased view and pretend like you're a real honest journalist.
Ooh, there you go. She gave it to him. He sounded either Irish or Scottish too, or Welsh maybe even. Trending Bitcoin said Elon Musk said the US government deleted a terabyte of financial data to cover their crimes. And he also said, but they don't understand technology, so we recovered it. What part of we have it all do people not understand? It doesn't matter if Hillary Clinton used BleachBit or smashed her phones. They've got it all. Okay, Samantha Smith said multi-faith space, and yet there are no crucifixes, no icons of Christ, no Buddhas, no Torah scrolls, no incense or candles, no women allowed in. So where are the multiple faiths? I only see one, Islam. East Essex in England, healthcare, new multi-faith space now open. This innovative project was sparked by the invaluable feedback from colleagues and patients who noted that the previous rooms were too small and lacked separate prayer spaces for men and women. Yeah, well, I only see mats on the floor. What does that represent? Islam. Exactly. Where are the, Bibles? Where's pictures of Jesus even? No, it doesn't look like multiple faith spaces. Tommy Robinson said nothing says Islam means peace like men on motorbikes shooting anyone who doesn't want to live under political Islam rule like Iran. Iran's going off at the moment as well. Trump might have to bomb them again. Gunther Eagleman has said Congress is a circus full of clowns. We have a dude who told the military not to follow orders. We have a dude in Congress pretending to be a woman. We have a jihadist lady who married her brother. We have a dude who was banging a Chinese spy. Yes, well, fang, fang, bang, bang. We have an old alcoholic hag who's insider trading Pelosi. We have a heavy-set lady punching ICE agents. I don't know if that's that Mac lady. We have a dude who made up Russian lies. Which one? Schiff. We have a dude who drinks margaritas with gang members. Oh, I don't know about that, but all I can see is Ted Ross walking around in his little hot pants in the club with a drink in his hand. But that's not him, I'm sure. We have staffers ass blasting the Senate chamber in the Senate chamber room. Okay, I didn't want to say that out loud. Our founding fathers would be disgusted. I didn't want to say that out loud, so I said ass blasting. Okay. Jared Holland said, how do you deal with foreign terrorists without removing the rights of Australians? You remove the foreign terrorists. It's not really that hard, guys. Well, apparently our Prime Minister finds it very hard because that is his voter base. He lets them in and on the agreement that they vote Labor. And they do. That's how he got 30% of the vote. Where's the other 60% of Australians who didn't want him in? Or 60-something. Yeah. Tommy Robinson said on 11th of August 2025, 16-year-old Ukrainian refugee Liana living in Germany was waiting for a train. While speaking on the phone with her grandfather, she was pushed onto the tracks in front of a train to her death by a 31-year-old Iraqi invader. Today, German authorities deemed the invader unfit to stand trial, so will see no jail time. No. Fuck these people, seriously? Europe is broken. God help us all is all I can say. Pray, guys. My patience is running out. American Papa Bear said, big shout out to all the immigrants who became US citizens the right and legal way. Yay to you guys. You did it the right way. Yep. God love them. Okay, because, you got to get, when we came to Australia, we had to get, physical checks by doctors, mental checks by doctors, disease checks. We had to get vaccinations. My dad had to have a job before even coming here. So, what happened? What absolutely happened? Eric Doherty said breaking Americans are demanding the resignation and arrest of Minnesota Rep. Brad Tabke after he posted real-time locations of ICE agents. This Democrat is a disgrace. They are all traitors to this nation. This guy, bad guy. Okay, James Woods said easily half of our national debt is Democrat fraud, if not more. And this meme, it's starting to feel like our $38 trillion in national debt is actually $38 trillion in fraud. There you go. Bro said, we didn't need hate speech laws when the Italians, Greeks, Chinese, etc. migrated to Australia and copped heaps of shit. They didn't whinge, and copying heaps of shit means they were teased, okay? What Australians do is they tease the living life out of you, right? And you got to give it back, okay? They gave it back, and that's how you earn respect from Australians. And then we had a beer with them afterwards. What changed? Funny that. They brought in people who don't have any cultural resemblance to us and don't want to integrate. That's why. There were Italian families who came here who could not speak English, but they got jobs and they worked and they learned English. The Greeks, Chinese, they helped build Australia, along with the Aboriginals and the white people, because I believe they all contributed to building Australia. Terence K. Williams said, eyes burn, I need water. People are screaming after being maced by ice. These videos are my favourite. My new routine is to eat chicken wings while watching people learn their lessons after clearly being warned. This is better than TV. This is Terence Williams watching all the ice people being sprayed with pepper spray. Play stupid games, win stupid prizes. And by the way, I'm hearing about, the guy who shot Charlie Kirk, allegedly. Yeah, the furry boyfriend of his had FBI protection. Why? Why? I want to know now. Anyway, that's just what I'm hearing. I do believe he didn't act alone, and whether it was the CIA, his furry his furry boyfriend, or what it is. But anyway, we'll leave it there. Yeah, Kai, either way, it's a trap. They fell into it, so... And it's, where we are watching a movie, everything's being shown. Pauline Hanson said, media release, cancel early sitting for dead Labor bill. Anthony Albanese needs to cancel the early sitting of Parliament because his badly flawed hate bill is now dead in the water. One Nation leader, Senator Pauline Hanson, said there was now little point in recalling Parliament to debate a dog's breakfast of a bill that would not be passed in its current form. Now that the Greens have declared their position, there's no compelling reason for Parliament to return early because the Greens have even said they won't back it. Senator Hanson said the Prime Minister should cancel the early sitting and save taxpayers a few $1 million in the process. No, he wants to grab that few $1 million in the process. That's what he's doing it for. Anthony Albanese has run out of friends. The atrocity at Bondi is defining his time in office, allowing rising anti-Semitism to go unchallenged and encouraging it by recognising Palestine, refusing to enforce existing laws against anti-Semitism and radical Islamist hate, and ignoring the recommendations of his own anti-Semitism envoy. Oh, enough anti-Semitism, seriously. This legislation has all the hallmarks of Albanese's typical incompetence, unnecessary, politically dangerous, ineffective and divisive. It's been exposed. The Prime Minister has been exposed. The only thing he can do now is to cancel this early sitting. Senator Hanson said the Greens' demands for the legislation were ludicrous. It wasn't the LGBT community that was the target of radical Islamic terrorists at Bondi, she said. It's not the LGBTQI community that is forced to attend worship or school under armed guard. It's not the LGBTQI community which has been persecuted, threatened, doxed, harassed and assaulted by the pro-Palestinian extremists. No, the people who've been crying out for support and protection from the Greens-backed extremists are Jewish Australians. The LGBTQI community already has robust protections in other legislation. There's already legislation against this. They just need to apply the law as it stands right now. The Prime Minister's legislation, even if it was passed, would not stop radical Islam, would not stop anti-Semitism. I'm glad the other parties in Parliament have followed One Nation's lead in opposing this absolute mess of a bill. They should now join us in our call to cancel the early sitting. And honestly, you just need to deport the people who are doing it. What is wrong with it? We know what's wrong with the government. Drew Pavlou, who's an Australian, under the Australian government's new hate speech laws, calling for the mass murder of Christians would not constitute an offence, but Islamophobia may be punishable by up to 5 years in prison. Yeah, you heard that. Andrew Pavlou again. Thanks to my X account, I was able to alert the Trump administration to the Australian government's attack on free speech, so thankful for this great platform. Deeply perverse. US State Department criticises Albanese's hate speech bill. Yes, because it's ridiculous. Daka said, there it is. The Muslims do the crime, Christians are punished like clockwork. Ozintegrity said, breaking religious protections offered to Jewish or Islamic Australians will not be afforded to Catholic or Christian Australians under Labor's new hate speech and extremism laws. These are laws designed to punish ordinary Australians who speak up. It's treason. And Daniel here said, hi Albo, Jewish Australian here. Don't you dare claim your hate speech laws are helping me or my Jewish community. Don't you dare. You've given people 2 days to respond to a sham public consultation, which is going to cost millions of dollars, which is why they're doing it, I believe. You had 2 years to respond to violent speech at the Sydney Opera House, violent speech on the Harbour Bridge, violent speech on the CBD streets weekly, violent speeches at universities. You didn't. You did bugger all for 2 years. Oh, except recognise Palestine and import thousands of potential Jew haters from Gaza. It took you 4 weeks of dodging a royal commission when it should have taken you 4 seconds to call for one. Don't you dare use the memory of dead Jews at Bondi to try and pretend you're solving a problem. You helped create the problem. You've had 2 years to say something and you didn't. Yet now you want to prevent the rest of us from saying things? Well, for the next day or so while it's legal, let me say this. Violent Islam is the problem, not guns, not memes, not random dickheads with an old tattoo they've forgotten about. You plan to exempt religious texts from your laws in any case, so I won't be able to say violent Islamist imams need to be jailed and deported, but they will be able to say this. The day of judgment will not come about until Muslims fight the Jews, killing the Jews. When the Jew will hide behind stones and trees, the stones and trees will say, oh, Muslims, oh, Abdullah, there is a Jew behind me, come and kill him. They'll be able to say it in the mosque and in the street. Why? Because it's a religious text and so happens to appear in the Hamas Charter. And we know all too well exactly where that ends. People getting murdered every single time, starting with the Jews, but it doesn't stop there. They go to the Christians next and the Catholics. Meanwhile, the cops will be arresting people like me for posting truth bombs to social media. Just as they arrest the Jewish guy with the Israeli flag at the demo, but not the hundreds of people calling for Jews' death. You are guaranteeing we follow the UK in their footsteps, a disaster when we should be running, not walking, the opposite way. Shame on you for what you've done to this country, a country the Jewish people migrated to in order to escape anti-Semitism. Now they're packing their bags. Eventually, as ordinary people get swept up by your new laws or lose their beloved hobby, who do you think they'll blame? Jews. Jews will cop it after you claim you spoke with the representatives of the Jewish community and this is what we wanted? Well, as someone with more social media followers than any Australian Jewish organisation except Australian JA, you didn't speak to me or anyone I know. You did nothing for 2 years, nothing. Yet now you want to ram a pile of legislation as thick as your arm on 2 days' notice so you can announce you've solved the problem. As Ronald Reagan said in 1986, the 9 most terrifying words in the English language are, I'm from the government and I'm here to help. And you, sir, are no Ronald Reagan. And don't bother throwing shekels at the Jewish community thinking it will buy you some sort of gratitude or silence. We shouldn't have to spend millions of dollars of our money or other taxpayers to build giant walls and steel doors around our buildings while you leave the door of the entire country wide open for extremists. How many Gaza visas has Tony Burke cancelled? How many? Guarantee you none. We know the answer because given the choice between the Qantas Chairman Lounge membership or our security and the future of this entire nation, you lot will always choose the one with the cocktail on arrival, while the rest of us are being murdered. Daniel Lukovitz. Okay, there's a Jewish Australian saying that the laws that he's trying to bring in aren't going to work. See, and they're supposed to be for anti-Semitic reasons and, pull the other one, mate. Craig Kelly said victory. Both the Coalition and Greens have stated they will vote down Albanese's disgraceful hate speech bill. Thank God for that. Albanese doesn't have the numbers to get it through Senate. He's lost, but he's still going to call Parliament back. Just try and siphon that couple of $1 million, I reckon. Yet we have X and Elon Musk to thank. Without the debate on X, the coalition would not have changed their position. Yeah, and people going at them for it too. Thank you to everyone who shared, commented and liked my posts and those of a few other commenters over the last few days. We did it. X led the debate. If it had been left up to the ABC and legacy media, the public wouldn't have been fully informed about the huge flaws in Anthony Albanese's bill and how Albanese was lying to the public about the bill. And Albanese would have pulled off this disgrace. And how did they have legislation as thick as your arm drawn up that quickly? I don't think they did. I think they already had the legislation written by the WEF for them. And as soon as an opportunity arrived, then there you go. Albanese is again left with egg all over his face. He should consider his position and resign. And for the Attorney General, the first law officer of the country, Michelle Rowland, who recently was caught rorting her travel allowance and was forced to repay money she'd claimed from taxpayers, this is her second major failure, following the defeat of her mis- and disinformation bill. Sorry, I had to have a sip of my tea. She's not up to the job with her repeated failures and shocking legislative proposals. She should be cleaning out a desk right now and resigning by 9 a.m. tomorrow. I've got a cough. Hang on a sec, guys. Okay. So there you go. Andy No said Minneapolis, January 15th, open border insurrectionists try to break down fencing around a federal building. This area has been under attack for a week by far-left extremists. Insurrection Act, come on. Let's go. Rob Smith said the highest paid politician in the West can't handle the odd meme. Yeah, all this hate speech thing was rushed through too because someone put Anthony Albanese and Keir Starmer in bikinis. Zucchinis in bikinis. Anyway, if you know Bananas in Pyjamas, the Australian TV show, you may understand why I'm singing zucchinis in bikinis. That's right, folks. Albanese was just on TV complaining about X, saying the platform is bad because it allows memes to be shared. Albanese earns well over $11,800 per week, yet cannot handle any form of criticism. You should have seen him yesterday on the ABC. He snapped at the reporter in the most aggressive way when questioned about removing the ASIO boss from briefings, as Labor did. The bloke has a glass jaw and it's rude, arrogant pig who cannot do his job, so he lashes out. Trump gets paid $610,000 a year if he's taking a wage at all. The last time he was in, he took $1 a year. Keir Starmer's on $365,000. Is this Mark Carney? $431,015. Albanese's on $622,050, which he does not deserve because he does not earn. In fact, he should be paying the Australian public $622,050 a year just for being in the position he's in. Mario Norfolk said 3,000 arrested as terrorist executions coming. Oh, as terrorists. Executions coming. I read that wrong. It didn't sound good. Internet's been down for over a week. Regime now controls all information flow. They just announced 3,000 detained for links to armed terror groups. In Iran, terrorist label equals death penalty. This is the execution phase. No internet means no documentation, no witnesses, no accountability. They can hang thousands and tell whatever story they want. Mass trials starting soon. Source was open source intel. Iran arrested 3,000 protesters, or terrorists, aka protesters. Regime just announced they arrested 3,000 people affiliated with terrorist groups who participated in protests. In other words, they arrested 3,000 protesters and are now calling them terrorists to justify what comes next. Yeah, it could be, or it could be like the leftist protests. I don't know. I'm just saying, no, it probably is normal protesters, but I'm just saying there's always that other side. It could be. Pauline Hanson said in the aftermath of the Bondi terrorist attack, the Albanese Labor government is trying to introduce hate speech laws next week in Parliament in a bill, an explanation that's nearly 500 pages long. See, that's what I mean. They didn't make this up in a week or whatever, or even a couple of days. This is long been planned. These laws have been rushed with inadequate consultation with organisations, politicians, national security agents and the general public. Over the past 4 years, we've seen how time and time again this government has rushed bills through only to see them fail to address the real problem. For example, the bill to address the release of detainees from detention centres just a few years ago. Many had heinous criminal offences and some reoffended after release, yet nothing was done and the rush bill was a failure. That's our whole government. It's just a failure. This is no doubt another one of those bills, but worse. It's like your omnibus bills in America, right? They're trying to push through other legislation in with legislation and just doesn't make any sense, is not good for the country, and is only really good for them. This is no doubt another one of those bills, but worse. Australians will be stripped of their freedom of speech, opinion and ability to express the pride they have in their culture and nationality. I want to explain to the people my grave concerns about this manipulative, controlling, politically driven piece of legislation. It needs to be called out and people have the right to be informed. The PM wants to appear that he has Australians' concerns at heart, but when the public have less than 2 days to make a submission to a snap inquiry on the legislation, it's obvious he's not interested in what you have to say. Do I always get it right? No, but I'm trying to inform you. Look at what's happened to councillors in Britain for saying she was born and bred there. It's up to you to fight back and send in a submission opposing this legislation or accept it and live with the consequences. Here's some concerns I have with just one section, 80.2 BF. Intimidation, which is not defined in the bill, and to fear harassment of two very low bars that mean almost anything could be made criminal offence. Fear is a personal expression. We've seen it in domestic violence courts that no evidence is needed to prove someone's in fear. So where is the onus of proof here? Hatred is also very open to interpretation and vague. So to criticise the immigration program and say migrants from certain countries shouldn't be accepted into Australia will be an offence. Government has recently put together requirements on student visas from India, Nepal, Bangladesh, Bhutan. Haven't they just committed an offence based on someone's national origin? Talking about banning the burqa certainly will be an offence. Criticising the immigration program would probably be an offence because that might cause migrants to feel intimidated because of their national origin. And they'll use that. Subsection 1B2 could make someone saying Australia's the best country in the world a criminal subject to 5 years in prison. Will flying the Australian flag be an offence as well? That's disseminating ideas of superiority, the best over a group of people based on the national origin, not being Australian. Subsection 3 says for the purposes of subsection 1, it's immaterial for the offence whether anyone actually felt intimidated or feared harassment, or even whether they were the national or ethnic origin targeted. So a white liberal Karen can just claim it. Subsection 4 means quoting from the religious texts of Islam that call for violence on other people would be exempted from the offence. So some of the worst calls to violence would still go unpunished. These powers are huge and could be weaponised against everyday Australians. Do you trust politicians with the power? I don't. I certainly don't. Matthew Kamanzuli said hate speech, whatever that is on Trump's radar. Albanese is about to get Keir-starmered. Sky News said this Trump administration has warned the Albanese government against deeply perverse hate speech laws amid concerns the legislation will inhibit freedom of speech in Australia. Help Trump. Hey, how did that jump down there? Where am I up to? Now I don't even know. There you go. Elon Musk said 800,000 voters found to be improperly registered to vote in Oregon. Not the B, which means it's serious. Oregon to remove up to 800,000 voters from electoral rolls. Oh, they're just about to find out that Trump won in 2020. John Goddard said, today I'm in America watching Australia destroy free speech. Tomorrow I'll be in the Cayman Islands looking at moving there. Australia's dead. My advice to Australians is to have a plan B. Yeah, can't exactly do that. I can't relocate. I've got like 9 people here. I can't relocate everyone. Craig Kelly said under Albanese's rushed hate speech legislation, a radical Islamist hate preacher will have the legislation protection to say wherever you find them, besiege them, capture them, kill them, use every stratagem, lie and wait for them in every way. But if you say people saying the above should be deported from Australia or we shouldn't be importing people into Australia from countries who hold these values, you will be locked up. Okay, so I'll let you know if I get locked up. Someone will let you know. Yeah, because I'm just going to keep talking. I don't care. They can try. Ruben Richardson said, message from Bob Catter from Facebook. This is an Australian, he was a politician. I think is he still a politician? This beggars belief. We now face a very real prospect of Canberra-based bureaucrats deciding whether I've made a hate statement or whether I haven't. Canberra, a place so out of touch it voted 60% for the Voice, while over 60% of the rest of Australians voted against it. If you ever needed proof this place does not reflect the real world, well, there it is, clear as day. And it doesn't stop there. They're pushing overarching legislation that gives bureaucrats the power to tell you what you can and can't say, on top of legislation that's passed just before Christmas that dictates what you can and can't do in your own backyard. A group of paper pushers whose shoe leather has never touched anything but concrete pavement will likely have the power to decide whether you can attend a rally or recite the Bible. This is on top of telling you whether you can cut down a tree, plant a tree, or do any number of things on your own property. If you think you own your property, you have to get permission to cut down a tree, permission to plant a tree, and permission to do any number of things on your property. If you want to build a granny flat out the back, which is like a garage turned into a residence, you have to get their approval. Do any number of things on your property. Well, I'll tell you this right now. This is not freedom. It won't stop Bondi from reoccurring. It's not common sense. It's not Australia as we know it. I'll be standing up against these powers every step of the way, because once they control your backyard, they control your life, and we know exactly what kind of society that is. A really freaking bad one. Okay, and that's enough of... I pretty much have said all this. Mark PG said, you go to locations in West Sydney to be brainwashed by radical Islamist preachers. Go to the Philippines to be trained to kill unarmed civilians by radical Islamists. Buy guns illegally to kill innocent people. What for? Radical Islam. So your PM is going to punish everyone except the perpetrators, radical Islamists. His communist background is raising its ugly head. He's a little commie. E.L. Yacobi said, breaking, a woman opens her door to protect protesters fleeing Islamic regime forces. Moments later, regime gunmen unleash automatic fire at the gate, trying to kill anyone inside. These scenes are straight out of The Purge, and it's been blurred out anyway, so a lot of it can't really see. The Persian Jewess. There you go. They come in with guns. Okay, Mario Norfolk said Iran's regime storms hospital and hunts down wounded protesters. Footage leaked before Iran's internet blackout shows regime forces raiding hospital with guns out. They tear-gassed the place, smashed through doors and dragged out wounded protesters. Staff and patients were beaten with batons and even fired shotguns inside Imam Khomeini Hospital. There you go. Homeland Security posted this one. I am the captain now. Okay, Captain. Ready. Come on. USCIS said breaking, DHS and USCIS are ending temporary protected status for Somalia. Temporary means temporary. Somali nationals with TPS are now required to leave the United States by March the 17th, 2026. There you go. Erica LeBon said the uprisings in Iran are not against economic conditions, as the media says. That may have triggered it, but the uprisings are against the Islamic regime themselves. Why? Because they are not us. We are not uncivilized thugs looting nation to nation in service of ideological extremism. isn't just Iran. Countless Middle Eastern and African nations have been robbed of their cultural identity and indigenous histories at the hands of jihadist colonisers. We Iranians are the children of Cyrus the Great, the father of human rights, who in 539 BC enshrined the principles of tolerance and religious freedom in the first human rights charter of all time. The Cyrus Cylinder. It is widely referred to as the first Bill of Rights in history. That is who we are, and in an unparalleled moment in history, that's who you are watching us become again. Glory to our ancient ancestors, beaming in pride from the heavens. Go the Iranians. Okay, pretty much, yep. Immigration's out of control. The majority of people don't care what slurs they cop for calling it out anymore. Somebody needs to tell the Liberal Party establishment that it isn't 1996. So here goes. There was once a time when politicians had the people's trust. When everyone watched the mainstream news, have I read this before? And read one of the 3 newspapers. It wasn't that long ago. We'd listen to the radio on the way to work. It would echo the sentiments embedded the night before. We'd get to the office. Yeah, it sounds like propaganda. We'd get to the office, factory or the work site and talk about TV. We'd echo the talking points from the papers and we felt well informed and well served. The economy had its ups and downs, but policy responses seemed to match the challenges. They were 2 distinct political offerings and they seldom agreed on much beyond national security. Fast forward to today and you see a very different Australia. The politicians and media have lost our trust. Policy failure after policy failure has been met with more policy failure. The 2 major parties in the Greens seem to agree that the failure is the only option, and they sound more and more alike every day. The media gives us snippets of truth coated in sugar, politely asking us to put our straitjackets on, mask up and buy some new useless thing made in China. The factories are all but closed, the work sites more and more sparse, and we sit in traffic behind international students, NDIS workers and Uber drivers. We wait in line behind them at hospital and at open houses. We've seen our national character change. But there has been a consistent voice in this space, one that's been calling out the challenges of uncontrolled immigration for decades. That woman has been called every name under the sun. The media has treated her as if she was dirt, less than dirt. She's been locked up, marginalised and ostracised. She's been made fun of for the very things, for the way she said things, far more often than what she said. And whilst I don't always agree with her positions, she normally has a decent point to make. One thing is for sure, when it comes to Pauline Hanson, you know she means what she says. I watch from the inside as the Liberals tried to fight the 96 election again and again. Their establishment understands 96 really well. They could join the chorus of those making fun of people that were sceptical of renewable energy, global organisations and immigration, because the public didn't yet understand that politicians and the media were in business together. They could make fun of One Nation and continue their slide toward Labor because the public didn't know what a lobbyist was. But they know these things now. They see that Liberal and Labor are barely 2 sides on the same coin, that the Greens are destructive and that the political establishment has all but destroyed the nation. That Senator Hanson was right about far more than she got wrong. This seems to be well understood by Andrew Hastie, but the Liberal organisation doesn't want to listen to him. Instead, they want to be like left-wing former Victorian Liberal Minister Phil Honeywood. They want to laugh at anything and anyone to the right of Malcolm Turnbull and Matt Keane. They want to pretend it's still the 90s and that we'll all go home tonight and watch Blue Heelers after the news. But their decades of mismanagement, lobbyist grift and selling out has bitten us hard. So either the Libs wake up and go back to their base, or their base will pick up and go to Pauline, which is already happening. It's almost already too late. I think it is too late. Both majors now have a vote in the 20s, heading toward the teens. One thing is for sure, they can't make fun of Hanson anymore, not if they want to survive the 2030s. I just want Australia back. Okay, this was on the 12th, which is 5 days ago. I'll stop after this one because it's getting old. Save America said breaking Secretary Marco Rubio drops the mic on the EU accusing President Trump of violating international law by striking narco-terrorists. I find it interesting all these countries want us to send nuclear-capable Tomahawk missiles to defend Europe, but when the United States positions aircraft carriers in our hemisphere, where we live, somehow that's a problem. Boom. I don't think the European Union gets to undermine what international law is. What international law is. They certainly don't get to determine how the United States defends its national security. The United States is under attack from organised criminal narco-terrorists in our hemisphere, and the President is responding in the defence of our country. So I would say that the United States and this President has made very clear his job is to protect the United States from threats against the United States, and that is what he's doing in this operation. Do you support this? I bloody well do. Happened 60 days ago. Okay. There you go. It happened 60 days ago. Oh. Okay. Is that it? No, there's something. Keen Bext said, wow, an absolute insane lineup of people that goes entire city blocks of people in Calgary waiting to sign a petition to make Alberta an independent, sovereign nation. That's a bit of a lineup there. Wow. And there's a book, Comrade Prime Minister, by Trevor Loudon. A new book that claims Australian Prime Minister Anthony Albanese as a global communist mole from Amazon. Quote, New Zealand author Trevor Loudon has conducted a deep dive into the communist affiliations of the current Prime Minister of Australia, Anthony Albanese. In Comrade Prime Minister, Trevor Loudon meticulously excavates Albanese's previously hidden 40-year alliance with the tiny but extremely influential Australian revolutionary movement. From his involvement in militant student activism during his time at the University of Sydney to his current choice of personnel and policy direction, Prime Minister Anthony Albanese consistently follows the line of the former Communist Party of Australia. Albanese has been propelled to prominence by influential Australians whose true allegiance belongs to Moscow, Beijing and Havana, not Australia. As the general election approaches, Trevor Loudon's Comrade Prime Minister, backed by 46 pages of references and direct communist and socialist sources, exposes the true Anthony Albanese. Throughout his decades-long career, many of the Prime Minister's closest comrades have worked in the interests of Russia, China, Iran, Cuba and various Third World revolutionary movements and regimes. Does Prime Minister Anthony Albanese really have Australia's best interests at heart? No, I don't think so. Unquote. I think anyone who's been paying attention knows the answer to that question. Thanks to Blaze Wager for bringing this to my attention. It's called Comrade Prime Minister and it's by Trevor Loudon, if anyone wants to look it up. Apparently it's a book that's been written about Albanese. So there you go. Now let's go to the comments. Shannon said, wait, isn't this D what? Shannon said, back to work Sunday night? No. And Brandon said, Callie in this mofo. Yeah. And Lightworker was here. Hey, going. I hope things are doing a bit better with your mum, Hev. It's up and down, but, like, we know where it's heading. Put it that way. We know where it's heading. Hey, Timmy, how you doing? I didn't see you in there before. Derry Lightworker. Is that how I pronounce it? Derry Lightworker? I'm hopeless, don't mind me. How you going, Timmy? Yeah, it was an allergy after all too, Timmy. Shannon said, let's go, Brandon. Yep. Brandon said, always going, lol. Good on ya. Way to go. Brandon said, tell me where and we will go. Yep, I agree. I'm waiting for Trump. Shannon said, build it and they will come. Yes. Deb said, hello to the doctor in the house, Timmy. Alex said, that comment got blocked. I showed it, but not sure if Timmy can see it, Shannon. Susie said, hi, everyone. Can you believe I caught alive? How are you all? How you going, Susie? Good to see ya. Yeah, UK had a culture. Scotland had a culture. Ireland had a culture. Wales had culture. Like, Germany had a culture. Italy had a culture. Like, we've all had cultures. So the people saying that we don't have a culture, yeah, I think they need to revisit some history books. But anyway. Deb said, yes, Australian culture. Yes, that, and the people who, these guys who were in a Category 2 cyclone, like surfing and all that, that is the Australian culture. That's how I know Aussies to be, like these two guys. Alex said, always good to start with some funnies. I think so. Shannon said, travelling Wilburys. Yeah. It's all right. Deb said, oh, look, Shannon got company in the naughty corner. Oh, who got timed out now? Google's doing it too, you know. So, yeah. Alex said, yeah, I think I've seen that. They always show respect, so end up getting a good photo. Alex said, yay, it's good to see you, Susie. And Dealey's here. Is it Derry Lightworker? Goat, greatest of all time. Yes. Shannon said, those who scream the loudest have the most to hide. Yes. California's beyond bad, Lightworker said, yep. Alex said, wow, well done for that man for saving those children. Yes. Yeah, because he knew the guy was a pedo. He knew who the guy was. And then he seen kids in the car and he went after them. Okay. Brandon said, watch the kids and that shit wouldn't happen. Exactly, yeah. Where are we? Oh, Flyby Stu, how you doing? Good to see you in there. Yeah, Alex, how did the parents not know they were gone? As soon as the kids go quiet, man, you go searching for them. Just make sure they're all right. Like, it doesn't matter if you just peek your head in, they're colouring in or whatever. You know, just keep an eye on them. Yeah, Dealey, laughter is such good medicine, it is. I needed it, actually, for the week I've had. We have plumbing problems in the house now. We have my car got smashed the other day. I was out of the car, mind you. I was not in the car. I had parked my car on the side of the road where there is allocated parking on the side of the road. I got out of my car and then a gentleman went to reverse in front of me and he hit the front of my car. So my car's got to go in for repairs on Monday. The guy, he ended up driving off and the lady behind stopped and gave me his number plate, which I already had read and, memorised. And then he pulled in up the road and stopped, so I ran up the road after him and, he got out of his car and I said, excuse me, you hit my car. And he was an old man. And he came over and he said, yeah, I've recently had a stroke and I felt so sorry for him. But we exchanged details and no cops were called and I just called the insurance company and let them know. So, yeah, there was that. And my daughter's car has been in after hitting a deer for like 2 or 3 months now, the poor thing. I don't know what insurance company she went through, but I don't think they're any good. Yeah, so we've got pipes exposed on the wall because they came and fixed our plumbing. They have to put the wall back on. They had to go through the wall to get it, not through the tiles in the bathroom. So, holy shit. So why are you driving? What do you mean, why am I driving, Shannon? I have my licence. I don't have any problems driving. Oh, so why was he driving? Yeah, because he was on a restricted licence. Sorry, I just realised what you were talking about there. The guy was on a restricted licence after having a stroke. And I felt sorry for him because I believe through the insurance company he may even be restricted even more now, lose insurance or lose his licence. And I felt sorry for him. But you can't do that to people's cars, you know. So that's the week I've had. That's why I probably started with such laughter and good feeling content, you know. I've had a bit of a week myself. And then my mum, you know, on and off appointments and things like that. And anyway, we're good. And we're going to watch a movie or X-Files or something after this when I can get together what we all want to watch. Deb said, sorry, but there was now gate of fence that could hold me. No gate of fence that could hold me on walk without it. You were a walkabout baby? Alex said, animals are so funny. Yep, they are. Flyby Stew said, Alex, since they stopped breastfeeding, some don't have a clue. Deb said, now who the dumb one? Shannon said, I'll save a little toddler like that on a blind corner. Oh, you have? You've saved a little toddler oh, good on you, Shannon. Well done, mate. Alex said, yeah, true. Some people should never have children. Flyby Stew. Out to lunch said he could have kept those children. Shannon said the parents were half-caste and druggies. Were they? Deb said double standards. Alex said they were so small, should be supervised play, especially outside. Hev, it's a crazy world. Fair play if it was an accident, but should never have been left alone outside, in my opinion. You can if they're in a secure backyard. Like, I remember when my kids were little, and if I let them play in the backyard, the gate was locked, and I mean locked with a padlock. I had the key. They couldn't get out. And there's no way to climb the fence because the fence is colour bond, which is like just smooth. You can't, there's no footholds to climb, you know. But I would let my kids play outside while I was in the kitchen, but also the kitchen window faced onto the backyard, so I could see them, you know. But make sure it's secure. That's what you need to do. Imagine a childcare centre who just left the gate unlocked, right? Yeah, what a disaster that would be. Alex said, always the best way, Brandon. Yep. Deb said, fun facts, our koalas are the voice of Jurassic Park dinosaurs. Are they really? Brandon said, I've always said I love my milk straight from the tap. Out to lunch said, there's a movie called Drop Bears. Oh, is there really? Oh, that's funny. Lightworker said silver will go to gold value and then no more solar panels. Solar panels depend heavily on silver and electric cars here in the UK. Ireland, they can't give away electric cars. Yeah, they can't give them away here either. They are not popular. Alex said, yeah, that's the other horror story that could have unfolded. If he wasn't a decent man, they were picked up by a wrong and it doesn't bear thinking about out to lunch. Alex said, I think I've heard that, Shannon. Shannon said, yes, but the steering wheel is on the other side as well. Yes. Yeah, we sit on the right of the car to drive on the left-hand side of the road, whereas in America, you sit on the left-hand side to drive on the right-hand side of the road. Yeah, it's just the opposite, the other way round. So you might get in a car to go driving in Australia and you are actually getting in the passenger side, thinking you're getting in the driver's side. Hey, I am Kai. How you going? Good to see ya. Yeah, Alex remembers my pet wild turkey that I had. Yep. Everyone's saying hey to Kai. Deb said descent into madness. Yes. And J1 popped in. Deb said earplugs too. Elbow's a big mistake. Oh, yes. Shanna said correction, a sloppy mistake. With Albo, yes. He was a big mistake, a sloppy one. Kai said, I love the sound of bagpipes. Me too, actually. Deb said, weak Prime Minister we have, yep. Alex said, the end of all their nonsense with a bit of luck, all our governments are rancid. Yeah, I can't wait till I hope Trump does the same thing that he did to Venezuela. Oh, arrest Anthony Albanese and Keir Starmer and Mark Carney. Oh, Deb said, I love the bagpiper. Donald, how you going? Good to see ya. Alex said, I love the bagpipes. Deb said, beautiful. Out to lunch said, Donna knows how to play the bagpipe. Oh, well done. Shannon said, my bag only had... Good on you, Shannon. J1 said, bagpipe army, let's freaking go. Alex said, such a powerful instrument, especially when played with the drums in a marching band. Yeah. I think even AC/DC used bagpipes in a marching band in one of their songs. So how about we get that going? If there's ever a call to prayer in Australia, we just get AC/DC, a few Scottish people on bagpipes and a band behind them, a marching band. And let them go. Let them rip, mate. Let them rip. Dealey said, Donna loves Fred and Fred loves Donna. Deb said, way to go, Donna. Out to lunch said, Life is just a bagpipe. Alex said, that's awesome. Out to lunch. Alex said, well done, that man, for saving those boys. Yes, exactly. Well, as he said, if the police don't pull him over, he will. It's not going to be pretty. Dealey said, that's right. Awesome. Out to lunch said, you know why there are more Ford vehicles in a Hot Wheels pack? I am Kai said, why? And J1 said, yeah, why? Deb said, I watch too much American TV. I thought I'd call 911, but I live in 000 land, yes. Yeah, I've thought about that and thought, Jesus, if I'm in an emergency, for God's sake, don't call 911. It's triple O here in Australia. Out to lunch said, to get you ready to push your Ford vehicle. Ah, so that's why there's so many Ford vehicles in a Hot Wheels pack, to get you ready to push your Ford. Donald said, grateful for neighbourhood watch out. Yes, definitely. Alex said, apparently the compulsory digital ID's been scrapped here. For now, they'll probably try a different way, those sneaky snakes. Yeah. Deb said, Shannon, you are gold. Kai said, fix or repair daily. Yeah, Deb said, just like Albo and the frickin' no vote. Yes, exactly. Alex said, utter scumbags being allowed in by the thousands. I know. Deb said, oh boy, YouTube has your number, Shannon. Is he getting censored again by YouTube? Shannon said, number 2. J1 said, Albo scares me with his speech. Arrest him now. Out to lunch said, 988 is suicide helpline here. Wow. Alex said, I think he was Irish, Hev. Yeah. Yeah, that reporter who asked stupid question. Yeah, Shannon, to be sure. Alex said, funny how Christianity is the only faith they're really threatened by and have always tried to clamp down on. God wins, and they know it. Yep. Shannon said, defend the indefensible. Yep. Kai said, they practice human sacrifice. Yeah, Shannon Tedros with his little shorts on, dancing around the bar there, you know. Shannon said, then we put pineapple on their pizza and it's delicious. It's funny, I don't like pineapple on pizza. Kai said Erica's CIA. Alex said, sounds savagely cruel to me. It's all about force to them and making people live in fear and control. Yeah. Kai said she's in several old CIA instructional videos. Okay. Flyby Shoe said, eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Alex said, yeah, I saw the promo video she did for them, Kai. Dealey said, catch a liar by his tongue. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Yes. Joe1 said Albo is Australia's Mr. Bean. Oh, no. Mr. Bean is cute, right, and funny. Albo's not. So I get what you mean, but he's not. Nah. At least Mr. Bean's cute and funny. I don't know. Albo's just, makes me sick. Oh, sorry, J1. Flyby Stew said it, and you wonder why they got protection, lol. Alex said, what's I now? I've not heard that one before. Alphabetti Spaghetti Crew. Alex said, maybe it means irreversible. Once it's gone, it's gone. J1 said violent speech. Yep. Kai said they kill 6 million Jews every year for 7 or 8 years before the first shot in WW2. Wow. Alex said it's always about violence. J1 said, Alex, it's for our safety. Alex said, I don't think it ever has been, J1. Kai said all of Europe was forced to starve for however long it took to make the numbers. Fixing to happen again. Kai said, this time it's going to be worse. Alex said, I read your comment wrong. I added a not for some reason, J1. I thought you said it's not for our safety. Jennifer, how you going? Hey, I've written my first book about Botany Bay to Bondi Beach. Oh, well done. God love ya. J1 said, who's going to save us from the gangsters in power? Yeah. Yeah, Alex said, hey, Jennifer, that's awesome. Well done. Kai said, we're at the 50-50 of will we pull it off but have little faith in anything we're told is reliable. Everyone's saying, hello, Jennifer, and congratulations. Shannon said, oh, my God, I can't believe Hev didn't mute again. What didn't I mute? Hey? Kai said, that's a real accomplishment. Dealey said, Shannon. Alex said, such a wind-up, Shannon. I don't even know. Something's gone over my head because I don't know what he's talking about. Oh, shit. Out to lunch, these people keep failing up. Never fired or jailed. Yeah. Shannon said, yeah, thanks for the help, guys. Nice work. J1 said, I hear the media room at Gitmo is powered up. Good. Let's hope, let's hope it happens quickly. Out to lunch, said, Hev needs a rebate. Yeah, I just need help. Kai said, if we, mankind, can get past these next few years without another Holocaust, we may actually see peace in our lifetime. Shannon said, bread, hot milk and sugar for breakfast, yummy. Oh, wow. Alex said, now I have that song in my head. Such a silly children's show, but still remember all the lyrics 30-odd years on. Which one? Bananas in pajamas are coming down the stairs. Is that how it starts? I don't know. I can't remember. It's going out of my mind slowly but surely because I haven't seen it for a long time. Out to lunch said, Jay, Gitmo TV coming soon? Shannon said, Povo pudding. Ah, is that what it is? J1 said, Gitmo News and GN Network. Jennifer said, Australia is signatory to Article 19 of the UN Declaration of Human Rights. Albo can't go back on this. Yep. Alex said, same as the cauliflower song. Oh, I accidentally clicked there. Out to lunch said, it's the song that never ends. It just goes on. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I know that one. Yep. The song that never ends. It just goes on and on, my friends. Oh, my God. Don't start me on that one. I don't want that stuck in my head. Shannon said they like to keep the rules vague so they can use it to fit their purpose. That's exactly what they do. Kai said, Manamina is a good one too. Alex said, oh, yeah, with Lamb Chop and Shani Lewis out to lunch. Oh, I remember Lamb Chop. Kai said, yeah, if they keep it vague, make it up on the fly. Yeah, exactly. Alex said, yeah, it goes on and on, my friends. I've sort of got a plan in my head. No, don't. No. Deb said, hello, I'm back. Mum called. Oh, cool. Yeah, that always happens to me when I'm trying to watch someone's live. I get a call or I get distracted. And then they finish and I can't say goodbye, you know. Jennifer said, we do plan B. It's going to be biblical. Yep. J1 said, hello, Deb. Alex said, welcome back. I hope your mum is well, Deb. Deb said, yes, Mum and Dad are doing really well. Oh, that's good to hear. Jennifer said, 71% of Australia voted no to the voice of Parliament, the corporation. Yeah. Yeah, Timmy. Australia is a giant homeowners association. That's what Australia is. It's just a giant homeowners association with people ready to dob you in the minute you do something wrong. Alex said it's all a scam. People have given more and more power over to these evil monsters and they've lapped it up. What happened to them working for us, eh? Exactly. Timmy's going to join us, I hope, on the Watch With Me. Am I going to use StreamYard, not Streamlabs like I'm using now? So I can use StreamYard as long as I only stream to one place. Because then Tim can actually hear what's being played. Because otherwise, if we're on Streamlabs, he finds it hard. You can't hear or something. Alex said, I just had to say that out loud in your accent, Timmy. Kai said, HOAs are B. Oh, yeah, I've seen some great videos of HOAs. Jennifer said, no, First Nations people, elders of Australia, do not want to be corporatised. Yeah, and they were originally called Aboriginals and not First Nations people. That was the Canadian term for their First Nations people. But Australians were always Aboriginals, the original Australians. But yeah, they don't want to be involved in this either. Out to lunch said arresting the locksmiths for putting locks in locks is like Aussie law. Yes, exactly. Yep, that's exactly what it's like. And Timmy's laughing at Alex. And Shannon said mainstream media is the enemy. They're the biggest enemy because they're the ones lying to everyone. If they were even half decent and questioned our politicians, maybe we'd see some difference in the way people think. Alex said, I missed our Timmy. Hopefully you can make it for the watch with Hev after this. Yep. Deb said, thank you for our Dr. Timmy for helping our crazy family. A lot less stress now. Well done to Timmy. Kai said, the watch, Alex. Alex said, love you, Timmy. Deb said, yes, I watch Alex voyeurism. Shannon said, Australia, feed us shit and call it chocolate. Yep, exactly. Alex said, Hev's going to go onto Rumble to have a watch party. Not sure what yet, though. Could be X-Files, could be National Lampoons, Kai. Yeah, there was suggestions coming in about all these movies that I don't have. I don't know if they're on YouTube, but I think Out to Lunch had some pretty good suggestions, but, well, we're going to try and figure it out, I think. And we'll figure it out on here before we move over there, so I know what to title the videos. So everyone's going, Kai said, what is that what the link is for? Yes, to the Rumble channel, yes. Shannon said B. Deb said they gave away an entire military equipment. Yeah. J1 said European Union even sounds gay. Deb's laughing at Shannon. Same here, Deb, said Alex. Our dear Tim has made a world of difference to me and only took changing a few things that no other doctor has ever advised. Yep. Oh, just jumped on me. Where are we? Yeah, here, around here somewhere. Yeah, Tim is really good, actually. He is very good at what he does. Deb said, even music, Shannon. Shannon said, Kai and Shenanigans. Pink Floyd. What? Alex said, the link at the top is for donations, but I can add the Rumble link again. And there's the Rumble link she's put in there. Kai said, you can. I don't have Rumble account on this email. Oh, okay. Deb said, I'm just so fucking over the news. I know. Kai said, be right back. Deb said, what a book, and the dictator Albanese. Flyby Stu said, in a bit you lot take care out there because it's going to get crazy. It will, yes. Deb said, Timmy. And Alex said, I think you can still watch. Should be okay. You might just not be able to chat. I think you can also sign in with your YouTube Google account, Kai. Alex said, take care, God bless, and see you soon. Flyby Stu. Nutters are definitely running with Nuthouse. Yes, they are. I am, Kai said, well, I can't sign into Rumble. Oh, no, Kai. Deb said, Shannon has been constantly been put in the naughty corner. It's very funny. Okay. Shannon said, Breaking Bad. Kai said, I'll have to start cooking soon. Deb said, I have so many videos of these funny Aussie bloke and tradies are gold. Yes. Alex said, yeah, I keep clicking show, but for some reason Hev still can't see them even though this is Hev's channel. Yes. I don't know why YouTube hides them from me. J1 said, can't wait for Trump's Davos speech. Yeah, that should be a good one. Deb said, I love you, Shannon. Shannon said, hit and run. Alex said, oh, no, I hope the smash isn't too bad and not too expensive to fix. Well, wasn't my fault, so his insurance has to pay for it. Shannon said, so why are you driving? And that's where I thought Shannon was talking about me, but no, he was talking about the guy who had the stroke. Yeah. Because it was pretty all right. Like, he wasn't, like, disabled that you could really look at, but just probably a bit slower, maybe an eye droop or something, you know. But he seemed okay, but he just told me he'd recently had a stroke, you know. Yeah, Shannon Doe, a deer, a female deer, ray, a drop of golden sun. Me, a name I call myself, far, a long, long way to run. Okay, let's stop there. Shannon said, why is the old man driving after a stroke? Deb said, Ray. Alex said, blimey, seems like you've really been up against it, have you? I've just had a difficult week, you know, kind of thing. So next week's probably not going to get much easier. Got to take my car in then. But I'm getting a courtesy car because it wasn't my fault. So I think the wreckers that I dropped my car off to are arranging the courtesy car. I don't know whether they drive me there or not, but hey. It's all being paid for. I don't have to pay for that or anything. Different story with the plumbing issue in the house because the rent's just gone up, even mine. Because what we pay in rent actually goes to repairs, to anything needing repairs in the house. And so, yeah, because we've just eaten the whole lot trying to get the plumbing fixed. Some expensive plumbing, that is. Yeah, because we've had to do that, we have to put more a week away now. So it just means my rent goes up. Deb said, now wonder why you can't drive at 70 anymore. Yep. Yes, out to lunch. Hillary's refusing to go to court. She is. Hillary and Bill are refusing to go to court and they've been subpoenaed. So let's keep watching for that as well. Alex said, yeah, I feel bad for him if that's the case, but can't be dangerous to others on the road if he's had a stroke. Yeah, it is. I just feel sad for him, I think. Shannon said, Hillary, at this point, why does it even matter? That old chestnut? Yeah. Deb said, I'll watch anything. Shannon said, brown chicken, brown cow. How you going, George? Good to see ya. Deb said, no secure yard could hold me. I am Houdini. They still don't know how I would get out. It was a nightmare for my mum. Yeah, see, I'm the type of mum who would then stand around the corner and watch exactly how these kids are getting out and be onto them as soon as they're out the gate. What happened to us? In the 70s, our parents did not, we just used to go. Like at 7, 8, 9 years old. Off we go and we'd be gone for the day until the lights came on. I don't know. What happened? Anyway, Deb said, yes, I was looking forward to a turkey dinner. George said, hi, out to lunch, Dealey, Deb. Deb said the police would lock at our front door, asking, did you lose something, me? Oh, knock on the front door, asking if you lost something. Oh, my God. Out to lunch said, either way, you'll both be near the middle of the road. Deb said, knock. Okay, bagpipes. Out to lunch said, head on the same there. Shannon said, 911 will divert to 000 in Oz. Oh, well, that's good to know. Deb said, I had said to Stormy, if you fall, I'll have to call 911, realise, shit, we're in Australia. It's 000. Oh, no. Deb said, don't assault Mr. Bean. Yeah. Deb said, shit. Shit is shit? Okay. Shannon said, fall. Right, Deb. Deb said, I did put elbow, but it turned into shit. Oh, there you go. Even the emojis already know it, see? Jennifer said, 14th of February 2026, call out to prayer and meditation, Canberra New Parliament front lawn. Oh, wow. Yeah, I reckon that ACDC with a marching band and some bagpipes should go marching past there, singing whatever it is that the bagpipes are in. Shit, I can't remember the song now. Out to lunch said, what is the movie? Okay, I don't know. Shannon said, Heather's already forgotten or blocked the unmuted nose-blowing incident, Snotgate. I forgot about it. Yeah, sorry. My nose-blowing incident that I thought I had muted the microphone and I had not muted the microphone. Great. Yep, Snotgate. Yep, there you go. Deb said, don't do it, Hev. What am I not doing? Dealey said, we remember Shannon. Deb said, don't Hev. Oh, sing? Shannon said, just like how she blames the chair for her. Or a good one, Shannon. Jennifer said, great band to listen to, Red Clay Strays. Never heard of them. Deb said, looking forward to moving. Movie, okay. Shannon said, let's not mention the tent fight and the duck confusion. Yes, I thought the Statue of Liberty was a duck when I didn't have my right glasses on. Yes, I did. And the tent was just fun. That was so much fun. I have to do that again shortly. Okay, and the Lampoon movie, what do you reckon? Do you want a Lampoon or an X-Files? Come on, guys. Okay. 1 for the Lampoons movie, 2 for the X-Files. What do you reckon? Deb said, yes, I'm still looking forward to... Oh, live from where? Still looking forward to live from the tent, yes. Timmy said, I love you guys, such kind words. George said, watch party after here. George said, hey, Timmy. Alex said, I just had to get something to eat. I couldn't wait. Lol, homemade wholemeal bread roll, freshly baked this morning with cheese, mayo, and... Oh, yum. Yep, Alex is saying, Timmy, with little hearts. Shannon said, have totally skipped that whole Pink Floyd joke and said B. Alex said, enjoy the watch with Hev, bit of a distraction for a little while. George said, it kicked off between the Iranians and the police in London early on. Wow. Deb said, much love to all the beautiful people, Hev and Hevites. God love yous. Alex said, I thought I saw it kicked off and pop up on Tuesday notifications, George. Wow. George said, okay, Alex, I was going to watch Tuesday, but see that Hev was live. Oh, God love you. Out to lunch said, the Doe the Deer song has more words. I didn't really know that. Oh, yeah, it does. So, a needle pulling thread. La, a note to follow. So, tea, a drink with jam and bread. Oh, I was a bit out of tune there. That will bring us back to do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. Okay, anyway. Shannon said they put us into a constant state of fear via the media. Out to lunch said 17 first post was about her, but October date. Shannon said, I was just quoting The Simpsons when Homer hit a deer. Oh, okay. Deb said, drinking from hoses. Alex said, you would think after all these years everyone would own their own house and bit of land, be able to be self-sufficient, but instead the rich get richer while the poor get poorer and freeze and starve. Well, I think that was the agenda that they had anyway, Alex, was to make everyone poor. We had to be slaves working for the rich, you know. And I mean the elite, not just rich people, but elite. Yeah. Out to lunch today, so true. Okay, where am I? Shannon said, that's rude, Debs. Might as well say drinketh from the furry cup. What? Alex said, it truly is a backwards world, but all of the part of the evil plan, I suppose. Yeah, that's what I think. Yep. Deb said, if you get started out to lunch, it will all come back to you. Yep. Dealey said 1 and 2. Timo said 1. What was number 1? Hang on. I would like X-Files if I had to pick, though. Which one was 1? X-Files? Or National Lampoons? Oh, now I can't remember. Someone tell me. Which one was number 1 and which one was number 2? I should have written it down for myself. God, I've got a memory like a sieve. I'm getting dementia already. No, it's short-term memory loss from smoking too much. What do you reckon, guys? Which one was it? Which one was 1 and 2? Lampoons was 1. Okay. Let's do some National Lampoons, hey? For just a bit of a change. Yeah, I'm not going to sing the never-ending song, Deb, because I won't get it out of my head then. Jennifer said it's a long, long way to the top. That's it. It's a long way to the top if you want to rock and roll. AC/DC. It'll play the prayer at the prayer gathering. Good music is a frequency weapon, lol. There you go, Jennifer. See, that's the one. A long way to the top if you want to rock and roll. AC/DC. If you don't know it, go and listen to it afterwards. Alex said some people started singing it, not knowing what it was, Deb. Oh, yeah, no, don't start me on that. Alex said, I'm glad you came over here, George. Sometimes I get sick of all the depressing stuff that comes through on Towsy notifications. Deb said, anything, I would love to have company watching morning movie. I get busy in the bathroom. How about we start with the first National Lampoon's Vacation? Wally World. Do you reckon, or you want the Christmas one? Alex said, yes, people ended up building their own prison whilst thinking they were free, Hev. Yes. Deb said, suckers. Oh, shit, it keeps jumping. George said, Towsie's been doing a great job reporting the uprising by the Iranian people. Donald said, X-Files are good, but it doesn't matter what we watch. Yep. Deb said, I like being rude. There you go. Timo said, Lampoons was one. Deb said, I thought I missed the 1 or 2. Didn't hear. Lampoon, said Deb. Yep, there you go. Sausage roll, said Deb. It's a long way to the top if you want a sausage roll instead of rock and roll. Shannon said, never-ending story. Oh, no. La, 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 la. Alex said, yeah, I think his dad is still there, isn't he? I was speaking to an Iranian guy the other day who's living in Sweden, but his brother's still there and all comms have been cut. Shannon said, long way to the top if you want a sausage roll. Long way to the shop if you want a sausage roll. Yes. Yes, Wally World? Yep, okay. We'll do the Wally World one. I'm going to have a break for about 10, 15 minutes and I'll be back on Rumble with Wally World, National Lampoon's Vacation. Okay, guys, with that, I'm going to leave it there for today. I'll be back as soon as I possibly can, even if it is next week. I'll try. Okay, guys, have a good morning, afternoon, or evening, wherever you are, and I'll talk to you soon, and I'll see you over on Rumble in about 10 or 15 minutes, guys. Bye.